Alright, hey everyone, welcome to another Little Witch RP Live Play TTRPG session. What is
Oh,
Little Witch? Oh, who did we lose?
we lost Sky.
Oh no! Well, we'll get Sky back, and if we don't, I'll fix the cameras live. But while we're doing that, what is Little Witch RP? That's a couple, me and Faye and Lachlan, who love sharing stories, so much so that we quit our day jobs and created our own company to create high quality and exciting TTRPG experiences full time and share them with you. And tonight we're playing Homeward. We will save all that details for Saccharine to go into, but before we get into that, just want to say uh, that not only do we have some amazing players, we have Sirenscape, who brings all of our background music and sound effects. It's a fantastic and affordable sound collection that you can find at sirenscape.com. We have the amazing Anne Sorge Digital on Instagram, who has provided our character art that you can see on stream. And then Foundry, who is doing the map for our game here. All sorts of fun things there. But that's really all the stuff that I need to go in on my side. So I'm going to toss it over to Saccharine to do an introduction for the actual game.
Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Homeward. This actual live play show of Starfinder here at the Witch RP. And, well, just a quick summary of what has happened in the last couple of sessions. After some in internal friction between our band of misfits, they after the ship was completing some supply runs to recover some water, they decided to go and take a look at an outpost in the asteroid belt in the system. They have arrived to settle down for a moment, resupply, and continue their way back home. In this outpost they arrived and was for the most part empty. Some signs of scavenging here and there, some elements of possible usage, but mostly just abandoned and barren. So, investigating a bit further, they decided to go into the tunnels that led to a mine inside this large asteroid. And as they were moving around and investigating this asteroid, um, S, along with Amos, our two androids of this group, filled with the um, power core of this area and brought up power to the installation. Subsequently, with that, they awoke in what seemed to be two large construct-like entities made out of different pieces of metal, of mechanical parts, and they battle against those, successfully defeating them and making those fall into rubble that now lays not animated on the ground. They were a bit hurt, but now they are just taking. You guys mentioned like 10 minutes of a quick like break, right? Like just checking each other, seeing if you were injured or if there were any other situations.
Mm.
So with that, um, as a quick like visual explanation of what you see now, because you were walking out of this hallway, out of the power area, when you saw these things and didn't have much time to process the rest. You see now that not only the lights in this cavern are fully illuminating the area, you're seeing different veins of metals here and there. Um, you also see, the tracks that you already left in the dust and dirt of inside of this cavern. But also you also see some tracks spread around. You see around this section that I'm pinging, like a bit to your what would be your north of the map, this metallical like facility and what would look like a door that before was completely dark and nothing showing in it, a part of maybe some small signal of possible emergency light. You now see that the console on the outside of it, it's back online, and there's some green light indicating possibly access to it. You hear also from the elevator that you came down. Now you hear more movement from it as all its systems are fully functioning, and you could feasibly use it to go up and down again, probably at a quicker pace now that there's actually power running through it. And yeah, that's what would you see around. I'm not sure we need to do a quick check on the stream for the rearrangement thingy, or
It should show. I can just move it a little bit if we're going to be opening that door.
okay. Oh yeah,
I recall that halfway through the battle, I accidentally opened that door, possibly at the beginning because I clicked wrong.
yeah.
Which I want to say in
I think it was a misclick of like moving around the map, but
I was just trying to move. I want to say in character, no, like drops his hands from King Magic, just turns around, walks face first into the wall, and then turns around and comes.
oh, you're kind of it.
Okay, I was gonna ask, is Ray cutting out for everyone else or just me?
Cutting out for me too. You and then.
Okay.
You seem to be fine now. It was just during your most animated parts of that conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Daddy. It was silly.
We love silly. Alright, after hovering and watching everyone kind of take a quick breather, I think S's impulses are going to get the best of him, and he's going to approach the door.
Okay. You should be able to move now. Be able to move in the map. There we go. It's
Hell
working
yeah.
as it should. Yeah. Inside the door, you see like this seems this first room seems like sort of like the compression area, or maybe like a cleanup area, and there's after that yet another door. Both of them seem of a heavier, grosser. No, what's the name of it? Thickness, not the word I feel for a door.
Width?
Width, yeah, of a larger width.
Girth.
No.
No. Not girth.
Ray, you can't do this to me. I'm a fan fiction
Sorry.
writer / reader. So
Yeah, you see another door ahead of you.
great. I'm gonna open it again for impulse.
Yep.
I'll follow
what are you
as
doing?
I can't move right now.
I was just checking
I
to
hear
see.
doors open.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was any other threats.
Alone, because that's a good idea.
Well, if there was gonna be a problem, I would have called out.
When's the last time you slept?
He takes way too long to answer that question.
Yeah, when we get back to the ship, you need to get some sleep.
Yeah, I'll put it first on my list.
Disbelieving bug stare.
Even Mac is looking at you like you're lying.
You should. Entering into this room, what is it that I'm
You
seeing?
see, it kind of looks similar to what you see in the image of this map. There seem to be stations for suits. Seem to be an area where also there's tools. Though the suits that you see they look. Some of them look kind of scavenged. Some of them seem like haphazardly put again back together. There's some tools that look, decently and kind of accordingly to this place. There's some other tools that seem more rusted, more probably like best way I could describe it is like Borderlands-esque. Like they seem used, they're haphazardly put together into pieces. They seem usable, but they are not of the greatest state possible. And you see another two doors around it, and there's also signs of more scavenging and just panels being taken out, some being placed again, like someone trying to put this place back on together to be running, or they were in a hurry trying to take values out of it.
Well, it seems like again we're not really finding too much here. There's usable stuff, but most of the valuables have already been taken. Someone was putting on.
Leaving in a hurry?
Whoever wants to, if you want, you can give me an engineering check.
I'd love to give you an engineering check. Second, can you roll for me? Because my computer has just shut down.
Yeah. I'll say you also move forward over here. And where are you?
It's like I'd love to do this myself. My computer broke.
Oh, no.
Okay. Damn, S. Damn. What was your actual roll
Hold
for
on.
that? Okay. So, you, Amos, with an 18, you check around and you see that, yeah, there are pieces that would be like more valuable that have been taken around, but you notice that these suits are, they don't seem in a bad shape that they wouldn't be able to be used for probably working around in this mine. Probably would need some extra work to put them back online. For Hay and especially S, you do see that there's sections to the wall where the suits are attached that they seem to need some reactivation for them to charge up the suits so they are usable. And definitely there's just looking also at them, S with that role, I would say you recognize some features that give you an idea that this might be possible. How is it called? There's Ringworks manufacturing, and Ringworks kind of rings a bell in your head, sort of like these kind of the overall manufacturing. One of the main manufacturers of spacefaring suits and things like that comes from Absalon Station.
Okay, alright, so we got some name brand. Cool. S kind of looking around. Before I let myself get ahead of myself, like I typically do. Do we want to divert energy to these guys, get them charged up for whatever sort of use, or do we just want to let them be?
The suits? Or the
suits, yeah.
the guys? Oh, okay, yes, okay.
No, let's leave the
Okay.
let's leave the guys where they are.
Yeah, I've got a question about those, actually, I've been thinking on. Why are they here? Did they work here?
Yeah,
Those large robots.
that's a question that I'm pondering too. Can I make a? Can I figure out what these were used for? Is that going to be a roll?
Are you trained in mysticism?
No.
I am.
I'm not trained in mysticism, but looking at these things, they're robots. Can I roll engineering?
You would get engineering answers, yes.
I'll take some engineering answers, Noel, if you want to figure out the magic of this shit.
Could I also roll mysticism since I've got Jack of all trades and I can roll it?
Oh, actually, yeah, no, it's both engineering and mysticism. My bad.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe
Yeah,
I'll roll
yeah.
engineering. We've got a pretty good engineering skill.
Melodious, you roll low. Freaking face.
And I.
Engineering and computers are my best skill. I just don't do engineering because everyone else seems more excited to do it.
I swear, a few things
Almost-
that Mac is exceptionally good at. Engineering is just one of them. But he's not as good as is.
Ignore that sound. Ignore that sound. Ignore that sound. So, sorry, I was just clicking and closing other windows that I have here. Yeah, with well, fortunately, Melodious, you only needed to beat 16 for the answers of this. Yeah,
Woo.
you didn't need to roll like, it's not like Ez that is like.
I got 31.
And Amos got a 26. So, in terms of these things, as you, for Amos and S, as you were looking, I'm gonna say this once as you were taking your rest, like just looking around at these things, you see that, just by looking at the construction of, well, I would say construction, but the more you look at it and the more you were studying, you realize this wasn't just a functioning robot. Like, this was by no chance whatsoever something that, in terms of mechanical construction and design, would have been able to move with the components and the pieces that were installed in this. But as you were looking, you were seeing more pieces that had odd markings that just didn't look like code, didn't look like a language per se, and it's like, okay, this is weird.
Second, are you telling me that these robots are more than meets the eye?
I mean, one of them did come out of it. One of them did come out of the truck, so.
No. Well, I guess yes, but not.
No.
They're not Decepticons. We don't have Autobots and Decepticons here. Yeah, you're looking more, and you begin seeing parts of pieces that would be from computers, from vehicles, and you get more or less an idea that this, by the construction of it, you're not sure how this comes to your mind, but you're thinking this is more of a goblin construction, and that's where Melodious, that's looking at this, you're like, oh, metal. Oh, look at this. It's just more metal. I guess it would be arm. You begin seeing the symbols and recognize them as sort of magical symbols tied to conjuration magic. But the crudeness of those symbols, and that's where you connect with the other two androids, indicate that this would be sort of a, tribal-esque way from goblin magic to bring into life these things that would be used to guard a place, would be to make an area, just be.
This wouldn't be written in Goblin, would it?
It's not written in Goblin.
Okay, cool.
No, it is like magical symbols that through this and knowledge would be like giving this part of like putting the final piece of how these things came to life. This seem as sort of like an earth elemental spirit put into these things, and through the symbols it is contained into it, so it comes into life and they can control it.
I would like to relay all that information and then say, which sort of leads me to believe that maybe someone's going to come back and look for something that they were left to guard. Which means A, we should find it first and take that shit, and B, we should be very careful that we're not here when they come back.
No, I'm beginning to like you more and more every time you suggest something remotely criminal. Let's go find that thing and steal it first.
Is it criminal if goods disappear from a random asteroid and there's no law around to see it? Is it even a crime?
You know what? That's a philosophical question about crime, and I would have to turn that to somebody who has a degree in crime philosophy.
Crime philosophy.
For the engineers that roll your roll your engineers, along with the things that you find in these constructions, you find what you believe might be they look like hard drives that would have been put around the cranial area of this entity. Some of those are a bit damaged from the fight and from the scrap falling off, but some seem still functional. Just
I'm
need
pocketing
to
that.
be connected.
Cranial area? Yeah, let's pocket some of those.
I'm pocketing hard drive. Anything that's worthwhile.
And the ones inside this room you have entered, they seem more like suits that you put in. They don't seem anything like the things outside. They're not made of junk and scrap. These are more like atmospheric or even like hard suits used for manual labor.
You know, I was going to ask if anyone knew if any of the rock or metals around here were useful for the ship. And we could get more people down here to help us mine some of it. But now I'm thinking that's a bad idea.
I'm thinking we have a lot of bad ideas most of the time.
I'm thinking we need to leave this place alone. It's not ours to take. And if there was something important that somebody could put, I don't know, a tracker on.
Do you think I don't know how to turn off a tracker?
I'm not necessarily sure it's findable, for one. For two, if you didn't find the tracker, if there was one, and we took it back to the Drawlark, we put a giant beacon on our asses so that we have more bad things coming after us. Is that really what we want?
I will say that I have not been broadcasting this, but I have been working on a signal scrambler, so that way we wouldn't be as easily
Found?
tracked. Found, yeah. Not that it
Until
would.
that's done, I'm not comfortable bringing unknown things onto the vessel.
I 100% hear you and agree. I am just. There are things that are being done and that can be done to mitigate. I don't want to put our livelihoods really in any more danger than is necessary. Why don't we're already here. We take a look around. If what we see is not worth the risk, we leave it. I'll calculate if it does seem worth the risk. I used to do it a lot.
I used to do crime a lot, so both of us will make a good pair of seeing if this is worth a crime.
And you're all welcome to put in your own thoughts as well. I'm not saying that we have to do it.
I think it's worth taking a look around, because someone put in quite a bit of effort to put these two large robots to God. And I think that bears looking into. Now, I'm not necessarily sure if the ores and metals are... It would seem to me that would be difficult to track.
Not necessarily the ores and metals, but anything else that would be valuable here. Based on what you all have told me, it's entirely possible that whatever set these in motion, for one, could still be here.
Right.
Two, we still don't know what happened to all the people that were here before.
Maybe they're in the robots.
I'm advising caution. Not just running around willy-nilly, turning random things on and opening doors without at least checking them first.
We all just look like Chasten schoolboys. Oh, well, shucks.
Like, dang it! That was my entire plan.
But that's the fun part, Kay. But I like
Whoever
opening
funded it.
doors. Fine.
Remember what I said to you before, Null? My main priority is making sure we all make it home. And that includes you. I don't want to see something happen to you guys just because you got overly curious.
Why do you have to go and be so good about it, Kay? Why do you have to be so nice about caring about
No.
us?
Mom, why do you have to be so responsible?
I see
wish
your
I knew.
point. I'm still going to be bummed about it, but I understand that you're right.
Like, you're
Sorry,
right,
that's
but
me
I'm mad
laughing,
about
not
it.
Kay. Kay is just staring at you.
I don't have to be happy about it.
Well, if we're moving forward with caution, there's another door. Do we want to prepare ourselves for what could be on the other side?
Yes.
You can
Still
see
need
two doors,
one
one
man,
to
sword
like
the other,
south
let's go.
and one to the east. Which one you gonna open first?
I want to open the south door.
Go ahead, open the south door.
Are you going to prepare in any way for opening the door?
I have my sword in one hand and my gun in the other, and I'm ready for whatever comes out.
Okay.
Alright. No, it's all you
I've got a
opening
sword.
that south door.
Cool. With my sword clutch.
Smack 6-7 behind you with the same motion.
S just leaning against a wall.
It's the Scooby gang, which is really messed up.
Okay. As you open the door,
It's a
you
bathroom.
find the bathroom.
Yes!
Is it
It's totally my day!
bathroom?
For the record,
Alright.
that's the door I found out that
It's still open?
that was the door that I found out that I did not put a door in it, and I was like, this is important.
So here's what it does. Here's what Null does. He does the thing I do when I turn a corner too fast and I catch a sight of my own reflection in a window. Is he opens the door and there's a mirror right in front of where the door is, and then realizes it's his own reflection and hopes no one saw.
That's standing right behind you.
Yeah, S who
Yeah.
was like right on the wall noticed everything.
Yeah, you turn around, Melodious, to indicate, like, hopefully no one saw it, and you see Amos
Back
and
up
S
in the
right next to you, and on the back on a ready stance, also very clearly paying attention to that direction, looking at you. So you feel very confident. Unfortunately, that they saw that interaction with the bathroom.
There's nothing in there. Speak of
Look,
this
if
to no
anybody
one.
needs to
Close
do
the
their
door.
business, we found a bathroom.
Alright, one door down. You guys ready for the next?
I don't want to open the next door. I feel silly now.
I'll open the next door.
Hey, just nods.
Hold on. There. So, as you open and go inside, you see this what would be like some sort of meeting room. You see some areas that would be, kind of a kitchen zone. Though various of the more mundane areas are like where you see that there could be a sink and more of a stove. It seemed that they got moved around, some were put back again together, at least half of it. Like it looked from a very nice place that just someone went in, took things out, put them back again, kind of in a chaotic manner. You do see another uh, uh, I would say power core. It is now running again. It's just now indicating some settings of where to send some extra power and things like like giving more control over it. It seems that it receives some haphazard, second hand, probably third hand even repairs over, and you see another door, kind of across the way of the one you enter, and along with that you see areas that seem to be just a pile of junk. It would be like probably like bags of rations, like things that would probably be, for food storage, just being thrown into a site.
Can I go over to the power core? Does it have a interface compound, like to see where it would be sending energy to?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Great. I want to check to see if that'll give me any sort of insight of what could be ahead.
Mac
Yeah,
is wondering if you could take the food and the rations back to the ship.
it is just
Technically, they're still good.
so all of that pile is just like the wrappings. Like it just seems that someone, like someone went to fast food, order a lot of food, and then just threw the left the packages, the what is it called, where you put the soda, the cylindrical thing.
The cup?
It's not like glass. The cups, thank you. It's like the cup is thrown into a side. Like it's just trash. There doesn't seem to be any food there.
Oh well,
Um,
that's
I could go for something right now. It's fast food.
And so in the interface of this core, you see there are indications of what seem like the loading room. Then you see what the dining room. You see control room 1. You see it indicates for the lights too. Just generalize lights, power for equipment, and you see how there's a percentage of the levels of energy. And for the lights, there's a separation of like indoor lights and outside lights for the cave. And in that same like list where it's indicate the lights for the caves, there's indications of some equipment and the power. At least for some of it, there's some that are like marked out as if they were not connected or offline completely.
Okay. So, from what I'm seeing here, based on this module, we've got the loading room, which I believe is where all those suits are. The dining room where we're at. We've got a control room 1, lights, power equipment. So that next door, I think, is going to be our control room, which we might get some answers about what happened here. If anything's going to have something, I think it'd be there.
Alright. I once again brace for violence.
Sounds good.
Well, I guess I'll go to
Hello?
the
Are you
door.
still there? Are you still there, Ray? Could you like hit
Yeah,
for me
so
on my screen?
okay. I it seems every time I open Foundry, it freezes. Every time I change my screen to look at Foundry, it freezes my Discord chat.
Oh,
So my question was, in that upper, before we leave this room, in that upper right corner, is that a potted plant? I can't imagine it is, but it looks like it might be.
in the map, indeed, it would be a potted plant, but in what the visuals of your character would see, it's indeed there it looks like to be a pot, but now
Mhm.
there's some dirt thrown around, and that's where most of that trash is just being tossed in.
Oh,
Plot twist, there is a potted plant there,
devastating.
but it's made of plastic.
Oh
Oh,
no.
it's not even a real plant.
Alright.
Never mind then.
Alright, I opened the door.
Right. Roll me a reflex save.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I'll do it.
I mean, if you want to just do it, that's fine. But no need for it, honestly. You enter, and you see different areas of like control panels, but some of them seem cannibalized. There's one that seems, for the most part, intact, but there seem to be some extra cables and like controls being added to it that they seem to have that same kind of makeshift goblin-esque engineering that you saw on the junk golems that you studied minutes ago.
Okay.
And yeah, the one that has more things is the one on the upper right corner of the room, at the bottom.
I'll go there and I'll start fiddling around for answers.
Yeah, you sit to it and you see that at the moment, as you open it and you try to begin hacking, you hear some crackling and literally hear some sparks coming from behind the desk before you see the computer turn back on, and you're like already in the desktop of it.
This will be a stretch, so I understand if it'll be a high DC, but would any memories of my past in working with this, because I have history with goblin creations, I understand the language, and would this be a phenomena that I am aware of?
Roll me computers.
Look at that. Nat 20.
Nice.
Damn it. Damn it, you passed the DC of 36 with that. No, it wasn't a high DC. Just by looking at that, you're like, just like move your chair a bit backwards. Look beneath the desk, and just by quick look, you're like, oh, okay, and you figure that somehow these goblins or individuals managed to bypass the security of the computer by literally bypassing the various cables in a way that should be not safe, but it's working at the moment.
Alright, work here's a little volatile, but I think I can make it.
Yeah, and in the desktop itself of the machine. Like it shows you an array of options, from controls, from cameras, from schematics of the installation itself of the mine, and along with all of that, you also very easily find what seem to be logs. Just a situation logs for the operations of the mine.
Yeah, I'm immediately going to go into the logs, even though the cameras have me also intrigued.
Okay. So you open it, and it doesn't require any password. Looks like you already have access to the administrator of this system. And as you enter, it opens you on uh, various entries. It is just text and text and text as you open, like in entry 30 something. And it's just text of um, Officer Lesalp, um, just mentioning routine operations, installation of new equipment, arrivals, things like that. And um, as you begin moving toward, like, probably the most recent, you stop here and there. You stop one. Um, Data entry 64, date Nth 30, 290 AG. The Omeron departed to take the second batch of metals back to the Pack Worlds. It's always good to see them get here in one piece, considering they have to go around damn Beskarium. By the news they brought, it looks like they are expanding. I'm wondering how long this operation will last before we cut off. But the pals and gals out here need this extra resource. As long as we have our eyes open wide, we can hide or get ready for a quick ticket back home, I guess. Signed, Officer Lesalp. You see the next entry 65, just talking about general things of operations, like dull things. Then data entry 66. Date Abadius 15 291 AG. It gets hard on everyone being so far from the pact, but at least spirits are up. We're making small money, help other folk, and the last intel we got is that the Vesk attention is completely away from here. A couple of weeks more and we get our sweet home news. Hope Skittles Afian sends another batch of pie, and this time along with the recipe. Damn, that thing is good. And followed by that, you see the last entry. Data entry 67, emergency. Date Abadius 28, 291 AG. This will be my last entry as operating officer of this mining installation. As I'm filling this report for posterity, we are embarking on the Omeron and immediately evacuating to the Pack Worlds. I just need to get to my family ASAP before one of those ships get here. The captain says that the Vesk will provide cover, but I don't trust them. Yet if those black ships were enough to make our war stop, operations will close until we can return here. Officer Lesalp signing out.
Black ships making a war stop? They evacuated because somebody attacked?
I'm going to, if I could,
If
use...
required, all of you have access to that data journal on your journal options. There should be one that says mining outpost data. And you can download to your respective data pads.
Oh, I don't see it. But I
Damn
am...
it.
I'd like to download it, I just can't.
I will say that for story purposes, Ash will copy that onto his data pad so that way he can bring that back to
Sure.
Drelog.
Would you be reading that out loud, or would anyone else would approach and
Uh,
read that?
S isn't reading out loud, but he's not in a way that obscures the screen if anyone came up behind him.
Okay.
I do want to check the cameras. I don't want to go through the full video log, but I want to see if there was any activity after the last entry where they had left. See if any like motion cam picked up.
Sure. So you begin checking on the cameras, and you see that once they went out of here, the video feed was cut off, and it seems that after that date, once power comes back and you can get feed, you only see it in some of the cameras. You see that it has been approximately 12, 13 years since that last entry. And there's many cameras that are missing, and the few ones you see that are just in random places. Like there's no, it doesn't seem that there was indication of like the cameras that are missing would be the ones looking at this room or important rooms, just random places, mostly like the more obvious places. But you see in the few ones that are like in tunnels, in some drilling area that seems to be further into the tunnels, and in a corner near the elevator, you see that there's movement. There's some, the light are turned back on, and you see individuals moving around. Some of them of short stature, with what look be like, that kind of astronaut helmet, classic like cartoonish, like just like the dome over some kind of mustard colored, ugly looking spacesuits. As there's just like this clearly goblinoid-esque entities just moving around, but along with them you see other humanoid beings, some tall, kind of reddish, but also kind of orcish features in them. Some look human, some look elf, probably half elf. And what they seem to be most indicating between all of them is just their attire is just a mix of things. There's no uniform. The only uniform you would indicate out of them is just how mishmash are all of them. Kind of like space Mad Max gang.
Oh, nice.
If no, that seems to
No.
be some time ago, and yeah, that seems to be like past recordings, and then you see that that was shut down, and the last like record of operations of power going through from what seems to be whatever date it is, because it looks like they didn't put back energy, any effort to recover data of that seems to be months ago. There doesn't seem to be recent activity nearby.
This raises a question for me. Sorry, this will be quick. Do we know what day it is?
Nope.
Did we figure out what day we're in?
We've got a vague understanding from the logs that I was able to recover, but that doesn't it kind of gives us a little bit of a narrowing down, but doesn't give us any sort of clarity.
Cool. Okay.
So, good news, bad news. Call it whatever kind of news you want to. There's not going to be much here. Last activity before was a few months ago, and that seems to be when all the scavenging happened. Before that, the last activity was about 12 or 13 years when this place was first abandoned. Some sort of emergency. Talking about black ships and getting back to the Pact Worlds as soon as they could.
Noel had like leaned over S's shoulder to read the logs as well.
Mhm.
It just says, "What do you think those black ships were? Enough of a threat to, it sounds like, put a temporary ceasefire in what seems like a long-standing conflict. Couldn't just be ordinary pirates, I wouldn't think."
I really
Roll
don't
me
As
know.
culture.
Noel says,
And
yeah, as
Melodious.
Noel says, ordinary pirates. Can I roll a something? Oh God, what am I thinking of? Profession to see if I can recognize those ships.
Sure, you can roll professions.
Uh, since Noel is posing that question to me, could I also roll a culture?
What would be the question for your culture?
Like,
Roll.
cause like, Noel is asking, you know, why, like, who would these people be to stop a war? And so, I mean, if there's another role that I could do to probably get some information, I'm willing to do it.
Okay. So as you're mentioning, so let me see. Melodious, as you're thinking about that and you're just posturing your words out, your ideas, you're thinking like, you know, like a ceasefire for a war. And let me see, what was your role? I'm looking at the
27.
wrong. 27. Okay, good. Um, you're like, what war? Oh, you remember that there was a long-standing um war, like almost like a named the Silent War between the Pack Worlds and the Beskarium. And you're thinking, oh, there was that, and how did I end it? And it comes to you that at the year 291, indeed the year that they're mentioning here, was when the swarm arrived to the territory of the Beskarium at the Pack Worlds, and the the war between the Pack Worlds allied with the Veskarium, they fought back against the Swarm, which was a terrible, terrible conflict that made them allied.
And the
Second,
swarm is.
I have a question with that
Yes.
knowledge. Is there something I can roll knowing that Kay has done her research on general history in her office?
I'm gonna need you to roll an intelligence save.
Intelligence save. Okay.
It will be like a memory save kind of thing, but for something in particular.
Okay.
And for Amos, you were mentioning about
If those black ships raise any flags. This was 10, 12 years ago. I would
Yeah.
have still been a pirate, so.
Possibly, perhaps. You're thinking about it, and you're like, flagships. The only with that 20, the only thing you think like maybe is like the only black ships you can think of are. It's weird that you mention it, but it's like Hell Knights.
Hell Knights?
It comes to your mind like the word Hell Knight, and you're like, no, that seemed not big enough. And that is related to like they have a code because they serve the hells, and you're like it, you know, like it's giving you answers. You're like just being more
It's there,
confused
but
about
it's
it, and
not.
but you are with that point. I would say you're certain that that doesn't seem right. Like you're not sure who the Hell Knights are, but they seem like black ships. Like in your mind comes the image of a black ship, but you're like, no, that doesn't seem fully right. But who are the Hell Knights? What is up with those? Like, it's yeah, you're not entirely sure. And let me see, what was your role? A 15. Um, could you remind me what was the question, Theta?
Kay would have done like some history reading.
Yeah.
On the Sheeran in particular.
Yeah.
Would that have come up in her reading?
Okay. I'm gonna say, considering that indeed there has been reading and you have done reading of the races and things like that. Indeed, you know that by the time of that year, a war erupted as the swarm arrived, and that was what united and created peace between the Pack Worlds and the Veskarium.
Okay.
And with that role too, as you're thinking about it, you're like trying to focus. Out of the like a spark in your memory, you're like, what was the dates of the books that you have? Maybe one of that's had, and you remember one. I said that it was on the year printed in the year 312.
Okay.
312 AG.
Okay.
Well, with some answers and maybe more questions, we do have to step in here and take our first ad break. So stick tight, hang out with us, let the ads run. They're important to us at Will to Witch RP, but if you want to directly support us, you can do so through my Ko-fi. Link for that's on screen, as well as in our chat room. Donations unlock awesome perks for our players throughout the entire month, including special companions, double treasure, double XP, new quests, full list available on our Discord. So check us out there, and we'll see you guys very soon. Okay, we are back. We're in an office.
So
I'm back.
Yeah, we're in an
I know-
office.
I know Null is kind of leaning over the shoulder, and as they say that about the logs and stuff, Kay will come over and kind of look it over. And you guys talk while Kay's looking it over.
Well, I mean, it's not much that I would know, as kind of leans back, in the chair, and I can just tell you what I'm seeing on the computer records, and you've seen everything. If you've got ideas of what sort of cultural impact could have been happening here, I'm more than welcome to hear them out, but I wouldn't know.
There is at least 22 years from the last entry to now. At least.
That is a fair amount of time.
So
I'm sorry, maybe I missed this when I didn't know that we had started and I was showing off my fluffy cat. What is the swarm?
Saccharine, does Kay know what that is to be able to explain it properly? Because like I know I have some knowledge of it, but I don't know if Kay does.
Roll a culture check.
Space what?
Yeah, actually, as you're saying that, I think it would be Nolodius and Kay the ones that could. Actually, holy shit! No, I think it would be the four of you that could roll, because the swarm was a big thing.
A huge conflict.
Yeah, it's
Culture?
culture. Yeah, it's the only. If there was history, it would be history. But I think culture. That's where you throw stuff of society too. Oh no,
Who left?
Oh.
It would probably be Sky because they had
Sly.
the.
It's Sly.
Yeah, guy.
Sky.
Okay.
Sly.
Okay, 28 for K, 26 for S. Definitely, what I would say is that whatever comes out of this information, the one with more personal, intimate knowledge would be
Would be
um,
K.
would be K. Yeah. So, Nilos, if
Can
you
I
want to also
say?
go. Mhm. Go ahead.
Can I say that this brings out like an internal fear in K that that it like triggers the memory of what the swarm is? Because I think all like the majority of Shiren would be taught to be afraid of it.
So as it is mentioned, and I'm gonna say the rest of you roll your culture check to get different levels of information to see. Okay, you're saying that, and there's a mention of like, you're saying just out loud, what is a swarm? Hey, to your mind comes the sensation and fragmented memories of both the host and both parents, in a way instilling that idea of your own choosing, your own freedom, feeling that part of the excitement of free choice, and a almost an innate sensation of coldness that expands from your chest, slowly chilling you, as the idea of consciousness remaining while all your free will is taken away, even to the point that recognizing what your actions mean would not compute in your mind.
Okay.
As all of you are like mentioning and thinking about that, yeah,
For everybody else, K just goes silent.
and as you're thinking that, Melodious, and like saying out loud what's this form, like you're thinking, and it comes to your mind lessons of history kind of thing, and what our lessons of history also turn a bit into early memories of mentions in the news of people being afraid, of people being scared, and it comes to your mind what the swarm is. The swarm the swarm is a entity composed of billions, if not an infinite amount, of bugs and creatures, all controlled by a hive mind that attacked the Vescarium and the Pack Worlds in the year 291 AG. It caused the Vescarium heavy losses, one of the most militarized forces in the galaxy known at the moment. The Pack Worlds managed to withstand the assault that arrived at the border of their system, but only together they were able to defeat that wave of the swarm. And at the moment, as you're thinking about this and that part of studying biology and life science, there's a part of your memory that comes to the idea that some people theorizing that in reality, neither galactic power has actually faced the full number of the swarm, and is still just out there. But among all of that, it comes to your mind that the fascination of the idea of their biological ships, their biological troops, the engineering of the troops, and all of that. None of that rings a bell with the black ships. All these bug-like, insect-like, black ships is like, no, like, not sure about that description. Like, it begins to clash a bit,
Yeah.
this report, with what you have in mind of history.
I'm gonna bring up the Hell Knights at this point and say that I remember Hell Knights being associated with black ships, but still it isn't adding up.
No.
I'm fascinated by the concept of these space bugs. Do they just fly through space? They have a ship? That's
They conquer.
No, conquer involves the idea of taking a hold of something. They devour.
like locusts. It's like a biblical swarm of space bugs.
Yeah, actually, you remember the podcast of Warhammer 40k, the Tyranids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh shit, bugs!
Yeah.
Oh shit, bugs!
The swarm are the Zerg, the Xenomorphs, the Tyranids, like all of those. It's just terrible bioengineer bugs that have a high mind, and it's just like, I'm gonna bioengineer this billions and billions of swarms for devouring and giving me more material to grow even more bugs.
Man, bugs are always getting a bad rap. They do such important work.
I just have a flash to the board.
We have Kay here doing good work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's good bugs.
good brand ambassador for the bugs.
I want to ask, and I know that it's just not something that S does often, but hearing everyone talk about the swarm and black ships and things not quite adding up, if I may, I want to try and roll a memory check here as S thinks of where he came from and see if there's anything that he can scrape along that might maybe not match entirely, but maybe add some ideas to the mixing pot.
Okay, roll intelligence then.
Nope. There's a reason why S doesn't think of home. There's a lot of bad things going on there.
No, there is that kind of a block. And,
so now both S and K are silent.
Everyone's having a traumatic experience and Nell's thinking about bugs.
Even Max over here thinking about bugs.
Yeah, Kay is thinking about bugs, but she is thinking specifically about the swarm and everything bad about it is just like hanging there, and she's just like, it's like she's having a flashback and she's just standing there.
And Nell's just like, fascinating.
That's
Wow.
Like, man, yeah.
Bugs.
Oh, this is real interesting. Bugs, huh?
the bugs dream with bug ships.
Do bugs dream of
Do
electric
bugs dream of buggy sheeps?
Electric bugs, yeah.
Lightning bug.
That should be one time
Lightning bugs.
title of a session. Other way, moving on.
Well, I think we found everything that we're gonna find here.
Along with the information in those logs, I forgot to mention that little part. You also find like information of the metals and resources inside this mining area. You're not sure how updated they are, but the indication of it's that there's still plenty to be grabbed around.
No, you're the mind for important bits, and Mac, you might know if engineering needs anything specific. And As will sort of again just lean away from the screen so that way people have a visual of what is on display, if it's anything that can be utilized.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is there anything that I can utilize for engineering?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna say that as you're looking at, because right now, similar to how S didn't needed like a computer's check to get into the computer, you're looking at it and you have somewhat in mind of what is needed. There's plenty of basic minerals that could be turned into metals that could serve to repair things of the ship and get more of the systems functioning back online.
Yeah, so there's definitely stuff that we can get and bring back to the ship that would be helpful. Materials, minerals, metals, things like that's just around here.
And we're good on fuel, right? That was we've
fixed that
solved
problem.
that problem. Yeah.
Mhm.
Is there carbon? Is that do they have carbon here?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. Null's going to want to take carbon, and then my recommendation would be, and of course I'm not necessarily a computers guy, but we wouldn't call them rare earth metals, would we? Not in space.
Not in space, but
Those.
that's what we're talking about
That's
here.
yeah.
Rare metals, rare
We're
materials, rare
talking about
minerals.
rare earth metals.
The ones that go into computers. We should take those. But I don't think we should spend any more than, say, 12 hours gathering what we can.
We
Just
should
thinking.
go back to the ship
Simple.
and get some people to come down and mine for that amount of time then.
I'll set up the. I'm pretty sure that those are mining suits in the other room, and I'll get that ready for them. And S will, not perhaps politely, but gently move from being in between everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, Kay steps back out of the way and kind of just stands there for a second, like they're disassociating a bit. And then
There is.
they
You'd be
start
okay.
walking with a purpose.
Okay. I'm gonna take that as a yes.
She takes like 4 or 5 steps forward and just looks back and goes, "The swarm is a bad thing." People
Do we know
talk
that's-
about you need to understand, it takes away everything that makes you a person and forces you to do whatever it wants, and you have no real understanding what that is. Mac, the closest thing for you would be as if I let them reprogram you. And then she just walks away.
Melodious. As she's saying those words, with that role of culture, it comes to mind a little detail of history. The Shirin arrived before the Swarm arrived, with the warning of its arrival. And indeed, as there were more talks and they were invited to join the Pack Worlds, it was discovered. Well, discovered dash given information by the Shirin that they were once part of the swarm,
Oh.
that got free out of it.
Okay.
That comes to your mind like kind of a realization.
Noel was going to say something, but now knowing that doesn't seem particularly friendly, so I'm not going to.
I mean, the therapist just explained an abusive relationship and walked away.
Well, let's get mining, I suppose.
Let's get on it.
We head back to the Wanderer? We head back to our boat.
Yeah, are we leaving us? Are we leaving you here while we go get people and then come back?
I mean, S was just, he walked up and was doing the process of, like, setting up the suit so that they can charge. I mean...
It takes you at much 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not a long process.
It's not a long trip, yeah.
So...
Kay, where
I wanna
where are
look-
you heading now?
Kay's gonna look kind of at these crates where the initial junk monster came out of,
Mm-hmm.
and see if there's anything useful in them to kind of help with the process.
Roll a perception check.
Okay. If this doesn't work, that's perfectly fine. She's also like mildly distraught, so
Yeah.
This
Okay.
doesn't work.
If it doesn't work, mildly distraught, 30 perception.
I mean, it's because I told it
Someti-
wasn't gonna work.
Sometimes there's the point of you're being so distraught by something that you just hyper focus on something.
That is exactly what happens here.
Yeah, and you're looking at the crates. Though you don't find, you find some small tools around that you immediately think like, these small tools would be like worthless for actual mining. These are like more like workshop and engineering tools. But you see that these crates, there's some that with some fiddling could work with some anti-grav propulsion, so they could be moved around easily and be used as cargo. You know, like they're filling up with things and then moving away instead of like having to roll them with a trolley or something.
Are you gonna grab
While S is tinkering with the suits, can I tinker with one of the crates to try to get the anti-grav to work? I have engineering.
Sure. Roll.
If you call out,
engineering.
I'd be happy to help.
Not gonna call out. She's either gonna fail spectacularly or do really, really well.
Like I said, it's
And
up to
she-
you.
She's
She
gonna
does really, really well.
hyperfixate. She's gonna
Yeah.
hyperfixate on fixing this thing because it's something she can do right now.
Yeah, you begin taking the tools and begin to fiddle with them, get them working. It's gonna take you a bit of time. Probably slightly more time. If you wanted to work with all of them, it's gonna take you
just
more
one.
time. Okay, with just one, you finish rather quickly. Yeah, with at 29, you make sure that it's working and it propulses up, and you like move it, shake it, and it's going as it should.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like maybe fiddle with a second one until everybody comes out, and when they come out, show them what I did with the first one.
You just start working on that.
Yeah, I think Mac is gonna come out. Sky just has to find the door. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I
shit.
wasn't on the map when we went through these doors. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll come over and I'll yeah. Hi. How are you? I'm here now.
Kay will look up from her second piece of thing and go, I fixed one. their anti-grav. Might be easier to move stuff.
Alright. Let's get on it then.
I'd say by the time that Kay finishes fiddling with her stuff, is when I'd be finishing up setting up all the suits to charge.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, you exit out and you see how Kay has finished with one, and it's just you hear the gentle hum of the anti-grav of that got the name of it.
Crate?
Of that crate, thank you. Of that crate. And there seem to be 3 more. One she's already working, and there's 2 that seem a bit worse for wear, but they're there. She's finishing fiddling and making sure that it gets kind of working and ready to be moved around.
Once that second one is done, then if nobody else approaches Kay, she'll just kind of put a hand on their hips and look around a little bit. You know, maybe we can get engineering in here and they can work on some more of this too.
Absolutely. We'll just have to go to the ship.
Is everybody ready? I'm gonna look around.
I'm ready to head out.
Righto.
Okay.
Awkward silence ensues as Kay just walks over to the elevator and gets in.
Noah's detected that the vibe is off.
Oh yeah.
So has Avis. The vibe is weird right now, so he's just gonna meander his way there. The vibe's weird.
The vibe has been altered.
He just got really quiet, so the vibe got altered.
It's a
What
weird
happened
vibe.
here?
Entering into the elevator, S kind of keeps to himself, like he normally does, when things are bad, but will, in Sheeran, just kind of I don't know what all you know. But if you're feeling anything like I am, you don't have to feel alone.
You get
Hear that bass, Jack.
a mental sensation of understanding what you have said and is like recognizing that you said it. Like it's like the mental impression of a nod,
Yeah.
but no other response from Kay.
That is totally fine. It's very much like the reason why, and I'm assuming Kay would understand this with their brief history. Like, I spoke in Sheeran because he wanted you to hear the words. Like, it wasn't like just empty words. But
Right.
with their relationship, they don't really need to have ongoing conversations. So it's just, hey, I'm here and I feel like shit. So
How do you feel? Are you gonna be okay?
There's a lot going on with Kate right now, guys.
yeah, and there's a lot of okay Google going on with Null.
I see that.
It's great.
All right. But yeah, so like S doesn't push any further. He just gives that, and you can. But that's he gets into the elevator after.
All of you get into the elevator and, quickly press the button to go up, and you feel how the elevator actually moves more swiftly, quicker. The lights are on, so you're no longer in a dark metal cube. And as you go up, and the door, this time you see how the door was closed, supposedly, I assume by the automatic systems now being functioned. It opens, and it greets you into the hangar. I would like to say it's well lit, but in reality, you notice all of the missing light bulbs around. So it's half lit, poorly lit. Gives you more a perspective of how many pieces have been taken, put back again together. And you see how the system itself has also reactivated the force field for the hangar. So it would now be able to hold some atmosphere inside. But you still can hold your life support, and you have the Wanderer right ahead of you. Wanderer 2, to be precise.
We made it, and nothing bad happened.
That's
Yeah.
what matters.
And
That's
I'm
that's
assuming
what matters.
assuming you get on the ship and what?
Go back to the
Fly our
drama.
asses
Back
back.
to the Trolloc.
Okay.
Yeet ourselves into space. No.
Woo!
Vent yourselves again.
I did it once! And I'll never live that down!
Nope.
Got us out of this wave, the space squid!
Maybe
so,
the space squid is part of the black ship.
Maybe!
So you get on the Wanderer to begin the flight procedure to get out and about into space, leaving the now active and power on station behind you. You exit out of this scarcely and loose composition of a ring of asteroids, and plot your destination toward the Dralak position. And as you're also going up, you hear communications. Like there's an attempt of communication trying to be open to the Wanderer 2.
I'll open it.
Okay. You hear across the communications. Oh, Dralak, this is no, sorry. Wanderer 2, this is Dralak. Do you come in? Hello. You hear a familiar voice of a small
L3.
Is it real glory?
Bruneri communication officer.
Hey, Eldori, how you doing?
Kale
How you
pick up the
doing?
mic and go, "What's up?"
You just hear
Oh,
the
hi.
chaos of everybody else
Hey.
saying hi in the back.
S does
Oh,
not
hey.
say hi.
Oh, hi. We detected the outposts only turn on. We detect some search of power. We got a bit closer just in case. Everything all right?
Yes. Prepare the ninja engineering team to come down and get some materials.
Oh, okay. Just let know the team then, Kumar and everyone. Are you returning now, or are you staying over there? Oh,
We're
we're
returning.
seeing you moving. Oh, yeah. Yes, Addy, I know. Yes, Addy, I know.
Oh, we're seeing you moving.
you hear there's a moment of silence, and it's like, okay, we'll see you over here. If anything, just contact us. Dralak out.
Monitor 2 out.
And as you prepare to go to the drift jump, again, the Wander 2 slows down before you see in front of you the rift into this purple-esque other dimension. As you're traveling at a greater speed, you feel a bit of a shake. And seconds later, another rift opens into this, out of this other space. And as you exit out, you see not immediately in front of you, a bit of a distance away, the Dralark, as it is now visibly it's now like pointing the direction you came, kind of, and you go over there. It takes you like half a minute to get to its position, and you enter through the entrance to the hangar on its starboard, on the larboard side of it, and you slowly move in, get into the hangar, and once more you went from a very isolated and abandoned area to one that there's activity around. You see people moving, and for an instance, for all the four of you, there's a sensation of relief, of like, I'm
Home.
back home. And as our pilot Amos lands, I was gonna say park. I'm like, no, that's not the word.
Parking. It's a form of parking. It's
Parallel
not in the
park.
last yet.
I mean, with a ship, it could be just like, "Nyeh."
Come on.
Disgusting.
Come on, I'm not in the lines yet.
It's just getting out of the windshield, just like, hey.
Just pops the windshield. It's like, yo, am I straight? Am I straight?
So you land the Wonder 2 in its place in in its landing section, and you can see there's the normal engineering crew of the hangars are moving around. You see, you don't see immediately the hangar chief engineer going around, and as you walk out of the Wanderer 2. Yes.
Just before we get off the Wanderer too, Kay will telepathically reach out to S and go, I meant what I said about getting some sleep. You're no good to anybody, especially the ship, if you're not rested.
I'll try. I don't know that it'll be good sleep, but I'll try.
That was it. That's all I wanted to do.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna go look for the chief engineer to get Squishy back.
Immediate.
Yeah, you gave it to Terrison, right? The hangar chief engineer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got out and began walking out. Each of you, kind of dispersing, if you so wish. And Kay, you're looking around, and though you don't see him immediately, you catch up. He's shouting to the team, and begin following the sounds. And you get to him, and you see his normal. I would actually say the first thing that the first thing you catch on him is that there is a bright pink scarf, a small scarf around it, as he's just doing his shouting and just working around. And you see that there's some users just passing by behind him, just giving looks. No one looking at him directly though. And as you approach, it's just in that moment it turns around to attend something else and sees you, without saying a word.
Take this.
I will take Squishy and set Squishy on my head behind my antenna and just kind of nod as a brief thank you and start going about my business.
Okay. As you do that, the scarf kind of shrinks, gets a bit thinner, and turns into a little bit of a dark green bob hat on top of you.
Like a beret?
No, like
A bob hat?
I'm
What's
not
a
even sure
bob
if that's
hat?
I'm not even sure if that would be the right word. I
I'm
honestly
Googling it.
I was just saying it when I'm like, is this the right word? Kind of a smaller version of that hat that I just posted for you guys in the chat.
I'm so
Like a fishing
fascinated.
It's a
hat?
bucket hat. It's a small bucket
Oh,
hat.
okay.
Oh, okay. A bob hat.
I've never heard it called that.
No.
Moving on.
I do not know where I got that word, honestly.
It's a new
Fine.
canon.
Yeah, then
It's just a small one, and you go away.
then I remember that I wanted to talk to Null, and I will wait for Null to come this way.
No dithers for a moment. Looking at S. Being like, should I? No. And then wimps out and starts to head towards the Science and Arcane Division.
Unlike, no, Mac isn't gonna whip out. Hey, is there anything I could help you? I don't know. Go to bed?
Not berate me.
Do you just want to grab a drink and see what's on your mind?
I'd like to not be in my mind, actually.
Get drunk and pass out. Okay, sorry, I'm not there.
Yeah, that's coping,
That's
baby.
suggestion, actually.
If this
Straight
is-
from our mental health professional.
Oh my goodness.
Do you just want to get drunk and pass out?
If this is your attempt at getting more information of my past, it's not going to work.
It's not. This is, you don't look like you've slept in 3 days. Is there any way I can help you sleep?
Like, if you think a drink is going to... Not really... We both know what I am. And sure,
I think maybe relaxing and not thinking about what you are might be good to getting some sleep. Whether it's sitting with a good book or getting a drink with a friend.
one drink.
Doing something out of the ordinary for you.
One drink. No questions. That's it.
Alright. Let's go.
Okay, you do see Nulodius as it's beginning to go into the elevator. You
Wanna
can
go in the
catch on
bathtub?
him.
Yeah, I will catch up with him, and hey, Null.
Yes. He holds the elevator. Yes, Casey.
Why did you send me the melon? Not that I'm not going to turn it into a beautiful work of art before eating it. I just... Why?
Is it not enough for a man to simply want to, I don't know, give a gift to a good friend?
Thank you. I'm apparently not very good at receiving things.
I get that sense. You seem good at giving, though. I don't know, maybe you need to be a little bit more selfish sometimes.
Maybe. But... Maybe.
Now, tell me to shove off if it's none of my business, but it seems the whole business with the swarm really upsets you, and this is me offering support if you want to talk about it.
I don't have much to go on. Only what I was taught and have read about the swarm and how I'm supposed to be deathly afraid of it. And I feel it in my chest. It's not a very comfortable feeling. It is a fate worse than death.
Certainly. I won't claim to understand how it works to be part of the collective, I suppose. I don't want to refer to you people as a hive mind. I understand that that's not the case. But a grouping and knowing the little bit I do about the history of the Sheeran and the swarm, I think it's perfectly reasonable to have that sense of foreboding, but whatever the case is, I hope that you would know that we are all here to help you, and worst come to worst, we're going to fight like hell to, not let that happen.
I appreciate that, Noel. Quite frankly, I wish that I could talk more about what's eating at me every day, but I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. If it comes to a point where I am, I will come chat.
I hope you do. Good. Yes. Good. Null very clearly out of his depth, being like...
At that moment, you hear a communication ring for all four of you.
Oh,
Is this
Rich
before or
communicating
after?
with-
Yeah, this is before or after we get a drink and a bottle.
just bring it with you.
As you guys are moving to obtain the bottle, which, in a way, you're like, where can we get a bottle? Maybe in their recreational
That
area?
has alcohol
maybe.
on him.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
So at that moment,
It's in the
you hear.
flask.
I mean, but is that enough for a bottle?
I mean, S only promised one drink,
It's
so...
one drink.
Just a sip here.
I mean,
Give
I
me the
was
flask,
thinking,
flip it here.
finding either a old convenience grocery store that had
Yeah,
cheap
Mac would
alcohol or a
Mac would
bar.
know where to find cheap alcohol.
Mhm. Yeah, though you guys are coming out of the Wonder 2 and kind of heading out and away when you hear that just communications of bridge to Wonder 2 crew. Could you come to the bridge, please? It's me, Buckywell.
Well, as long as it's Vival.
You're lucky it's you, Vahibel. And there's like the sensation of like a smile on Kay's face.
You also drink Vival.
What if I just said no?
Just don't go.
This is just everybody's responses one after another.
Yeah, it's just, I imagine it's just like comes open and he's just responding and it's like,
You're lucky it's you.
You also drink. What if I say no?
Oh! I didn't want to.
I don't want to.
I want to go look at my plants. Fine.
I was just going to ask for, give us a report of what happened over there, but
That's a meeting that can be an email.
Yeah.
Oh my
What
god.
X said.
Kay goes to the bridge.
I'll text you.
And
Text you a report from the bar, thank you.
S gives all of the reports that he found detailed, but in an email. And
That's
the
a meeting
tagline
email.
is the meeting.
The meeting. Just gonna
To be
say,
fair,
yeah,
Signs off on the bottom of
EOD
email.
at the end of December.
to be fair, S needs sleep more than anything else. So,
Okay.
and captain's orders, go get some fucking sleep.
Max signs off
Okay.
at the bottom of the
Yeah,
email.
just
It's like, I
Well,
also
one-
approve of this.
for those going to the bridge, it's mostly like what is happening, and just making sure that there's like understanding of what will be the next steps to take. You know, it's
Yeah,
just
K will definitely go do that.
okay. And you would
Relay.
relay the part of you're gonna send a team and work for there. How much time you said?
12 hours.
12 hours. Okay. As you mentioned that, and Bahi was just like, okay, just I'll notify Grumar about that. See how much resources they can get. If that will be enough. If not, well, I think I'll be bugging you in 12 hours when we get the team back. If we have any other news, in that we will let you know.
We also
Should we move?
discovered from the point of the most recent logs on that ship, there's been at least 22 years or 21 years. So we're trying to figure out a timeline of things, but it's still not very concrete.
Oh wow. Okay, so this probably is an outpost, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's news, I suppose.
Send down a security detachment with the engineers just in case something pops up. I don't anticipate anything to pop up, but just in case.
I'll let know Curlton to get a team for them. Question: should we just send one wanderer, the two wanderers, go along with the whole Trelak over there, just for terms of quickness for them?
It should be safe for us to maneuver. Addie, is it safe for the ship to maneuver with the few asteroids that are around?
Yeah, we can set ourselves at a good distance and be probably above with information from the telemetry of the Wanderer 2. I think we can trace a good destination, right, guys? And you see that the holographic representation of Ali turns toward the two pilots, Eklikas and Katix. And they just like nod.
Good.
We'll do that. We'll send a team. We'll move the entire Drelok over there and get everyone ready for a quick 12 hours of work for the engineers. If anything else happens, I'll let you know, but... It's a bit haggard. Everything alright over there?
We found some information about some history, and Kay will share what they found. And so we at least know why the outpost is abandoned, and it's already been scavenged once, but maybe we can get some good resources out of it for our ship so we can get some repairs underway.
Alright, that's quite information to just let me know. Okay, I'll let know Kumar about that. I'll see what we can do quickly, and you go and take a rest because you also look a bit haggard in the physical manner. Like,
I am.
okay. I'll go and rest, and I'll bother you once you get some rest with more things. Sorry.
It's my new job, right? MK is going to give a kind of intimidating smile, but trying to be friendly.
I know I've said it a million times before, but I love Kay so much.
Is
There's a bit
awesome.
of Bahibel physically kind of like moves a bit backwards and then like just relaxes and it's like, yeah, welcome to the job. You know, stress is free, plentiful to be around.
Kate chuckles a little bit for the first time in this storyline. And
Go and get
goes to
some
sleep.
rest, Captain.
They go to their
Um,
quarters.
Yeah.
As she's leaving, Kay will tip the hat that is squishy.
At that point, is that Bahibel is like does a nod, stops, looks back, and is like, okay.
No,
It's like,
she also, like, as
whatever.
soon as she goes outside, she takes Squishy off of her head. It's like, why are you a hat again? Or do you just like being a hat? And then, like, she just starts talking to Squishy the whole way to her quarters.
Okay. It as you tell it that you see that it turns. It begins to turn into random things. It's only a tie. It's only a pen. It's only a mug. Like it's just switching around for some reason. And as you talk, it's like playing around with you, just moving around, just keeping company, as much as a noose can give uh, physical affection in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kay loves Squishy. Squishy is, like, the #1 thing in Kay's book. Although she does not fully understand why.
And as we are closing on that, and we have our two androids going for a drink, and our undead, I forgot your race.
Lashunta.
Lashunta. Yeah. Our undead Lashunta goes to check plans and see how the scientists are doing on the ship. We're gonna close up on tonight's episode.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. For our viewers, if you want more, you can always follow us here on Twitch. We've got our VODs over on our YouTube. You can join us in our Discord, Little Witch RP, as well as check us out on our website, littlewitch.com. So, thank you all. See you in the next stream.